doesn't mean that doesn't
Okay.
discount that other countries haven't.
A lot that we know of means that they still have a lot. Okay, I mean a lot.
Right.
Okay. And there's most likely, like these 18 files that I mentioned, there's likely more files that they don't want people to know about. You know what I mean? And then they did an about face. Even though they have all this documentation, they claim that they have found no evidence of extraterrestrial life or a direct military threat in over 50 years of data. So apparently it is 50 years. So over 50 years amount of time. Okay. And some of the most amazing UFO sightings have come out of England, just so you know. If you ever get curious and you want to find out some of the sightings.
When did they shut down their? Well,
2009, I believe.
so we're still talking about since the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
So 50 years. Yeah.
Yep. It'd be 1959 when they started, wouldn't it?
Okay, yeah. So just before the Cuban Missile Crisis, we were always afraid of nukes being exploded overhead. Yeah, so yeah, you could argue that it's all Cold War related. It's all national security Cold War related information.
Well, you've heard of the Rendlesham Forest, right?
Not off the top of my head.
The Rendlesham Forest incident. It's like one of the most famous cases in the UK files. Guards at this base in Rendlesham Forest, okay, actually went out because they had seen a mysterious freaking object that seemed to have, to them it seemed like it crashed in the forest around the base. So they turned around and they freaking got in vehicles and they went out there and they literally walked up on this spaceship. And they described it to a T. One of the guys touched the spaceship and he swears that he had freaking binary code that had gone into his brain, and he went home and he could not get it out of his brain. So he eventually sat up, wrote it out, had it all written down, and it stopped bugging him, okay, after he'd done it. And he never touched it again for like maybe 20, 30 years. And then when he finally did, he had a guy go and try to freaking see what the freaking what it said, okay, the binary code, what it said, and it actually meant something. This was a guy who never freaking brought it up, never mentioned it or anything, okay? He had this information and he came out with it, and then finally they finally admitted that the Rendlesham Forest incident actually took place, okay?
Okay, you said spaceship, right?
Freaking UFO.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, okay, that's, yeah. So it could be something of terrestrial made.
Well, I mean, after it's on the ground and it's spinning around, I really have a hard time with calling it an unidentified flying object.
Well, it's not flying anymore.
Yeah. And according to him and the other two, they said they've all said that they actually walked up on it, got to look at it. They said there was strange freaking writing that was on the outside of the ship. He went to touch it, and that's when it happened to him.
Strange writing, Russian Cyrillic.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that have claimed that, these governments have been reverse engineering UFO technology and creating their own ships and
Area
stuff.
51, yeah.
Hmm.
The arguments, yeah.
And I wouldn't put it past the English to doing it, because they have had their fingers in a lot of this stuff. And that's actually something I think you would find interesting.
Well, I would need to see some actual evidence rather than.
Well, basically, I can run it through and let you know how it all played out. Now, in 2013, the MOD, they announced the release of the final 25 UFO files. However, it was quickly discovered by the researchers in the media that like 18 specific files were missing from the final batch. Okay. Now, the reason for the recall, the MOD officially stated that these files were recalled or withheld for further security vetting. Okay, they claim that documents contain potentially sensitive information or personal data that hadn't been properly redacted according to the National Archives standards. Okay. So in 2014, administrative errors had occurred. Now, that's where the MOD admitted that an administrative error recording these files had occurred. And they also stated that it had been sent to the archive but then pulled back for reevaluation. Now, this sparked a lot of controversy among the UFO researchers who accused the government of a cover-up or using stalling tactics.
Okay.
So after that, there was.
You can easily believe in administration errors. I mean, 9 public sector services in this country, other than a long history of administration errors. But yeah, I can appreciate that point.
But the plot thickens from here, okay? Because then there was gradual releases, okay? Now, after like intensive pressure in like the Freedom of Information request that I mentioned before, the MOD finally began trickling these 18 files out gradually. Now, 15 files were released in June of 2017. And the remaining 3 files were finally made public in 2018. Okay. Now,
These files,
go ahead.
Do they talk about actual occurrences, or do they talk about this person's status this hearsay sort of thing? I asked this because Nancy is convinced that what was the paper that talks about it? The FBI files that talk about Hitler moving to Argentina.
Well,
those documents only, and I've reviewed those documents, and those documents only talk about some journalists meeting local people who claimed that they've met somebody that they described as looking like Adolf Hitler.
well, see, the thing with these files is like it goes back to what I said. I don't believe they're the authentic files because it's fluff. You know what I mean? They're talking about conversations that are taking place about the release of the documents in 2009 between the freaking people who are in charge of the archives and stuff of that nature. These wouldn't be files that needed to be pulled back and redacted. and then much less be gradually released.
Names and contact information, personal identifiable information would have
For
to be removed.
gradually released, and it took what 17 years? No, 10 years actually. 10 or 8 or 10 years, I guess it would be. 2017, from 2009 to 2017. That's
Well, if it is just fluff documentation, then there is no real priority in releasing them. There's no priority in
right.
Spending taxpayers' money on
They just pulled some.
administrating them.
They just pulled some crap files out, redacted some stuff, and sent it out because they were sick of people who were into ufology and researchers. They were sick of them saying that you're infringing on our right to to this information, our freedom of information requests. You know what I mean? They were sick of it, so they just went ahead and they pulled some crap files out, put some redaction on it, and released that.
But anything that's related to national security is not applicable to freedom of information requests.
Then they would have to officially say that there was something in these 18 files. You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't want people to know that they actually have.
That pushes conspiracy
theories. Yeah, it does.
It's a sort of catch-22 sort of situation.
Yeah, it really is.
So they can't win either way.
Yeah, either way. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's the thing, man. It just... And don't get me wrong, while the files they supposedly were eventually released, the fact that they were recalled.
Yeah, because again, potentially personal identifiable information was in there.
Well, I mean, there is a good chance that the Ministry of Defense is still hiding significant details about its intelligence gathering capabilities when it comes to UFOs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I really do believe that. If nothing else, they went to large. It would show that they went to a large, or they made a huge effort. Is the best way of saying of trying to frickin' do research and find out about these UFOs. It was more than just, those crazy old men out there doing frickin', crop circles with a board. It wasn't that at all, dude. They were doing serious research into this stuff, and either that or they were using it as a front for covering up their espionage. It could be that.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that a lot of these organizations use the ufology thing as a way of covering up what they're actually doing. Blame it on UFOs and spaceships. Oh, is it UFO?
Yeah. Push that narrative to stop people. Sensitive security information being leaked.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. I could very well see that.
And used to say that the Russians once putting planes up in the sky and spying on us at the time. I mean, you could make an argument about China at this present moment.
Well,
UK and US.
Yeah. They had their own area 50, 51, I believe, 57. Area 57, or is it 51? I'm having a hard time tonight. My whole brain is messing up.